So welcome back to our data structures class. Today is our 7th lecture, and we will start looking at something that's, I think, hopefully a little bit more interesting already. Looking at actually typedefs, defining your own structures. Actually, namespace. We'll talk a little bit about namespaces. We'll talk about actually, well, also the basic string type a little bit, which is easy, right? So start getting into actual constructions for creating your own structures. Start with simple data types, the basic data types. So next lecture will be a little bit more complex, of course, right? Slow baby steps for now, but we'll get there. Now, about the requirements, let's see about our class. Where's my class now? Let's see here, right? I need to open up the quizzes, right? Let's see, right? Yeah, so you can actually answer them. Yeah, so this is what 30 September up, June, Sep, no. So there's no 31st of September, that's 1st of October. Speaking of that, actually I had a question before the algorithms about the midterms, right?
Yes.
You care about those, right?
Somewhat.
Somewhat, yes. Okay, so provisionally, this is not set in stone or anything. It looks like one of the midterms will be on 15th, one on 17th, right? So split.
Right.
That works?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I have not decided yet which one first. From my experience, the data structures ones will be a little bit harder, actually. Will turn out to be harder. Mostly because you don't have enough experience with C++, I think. The algorithm is easier because you can write in any language, right? So maybe we'll do the harder. So which one first? Well, we'll decide. But yeah, so 2 dates. So set Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah, will be for midterms.
Which one is considered the easy one?
Algorithms will be easier actually, because in my experience, everybody says, okay, well, there's some challenges, but it's not so hard. But C++, actually, when you sit down, write your own C++ program, right? You have to write C++ program, right? And if you don't, that's why you have these weekly exercises.
How complex, similar to the weekly exercises, or?
Slightly more, a little bit more, but not really that much more, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing too complex actually, right?
So if we are.
Yeah, if you're doing this weekly, if you feel okay right now, you'll be okay.
Great.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's 15th, 17th. All right. So let's see. This is going to be 1st October, right? Yeah.
And speaking of the quizzes, about the algorithm ones, do
Yeah.
you have to do them because like there never are the due dates.
Yeah, they don't have due dates, but you should do them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Again. I didn't put the due dates on the algorithm quiz because you just do them. I mean, theoretically, you could just take them all at the end of the semester, right? That's when I calculate the grade. But I will see that actually that you didn't do any quizzes in time, right? I see the timestamps, right? So if I notice that, I say, okay, yes. So I might apply slight penalty to that, right? If you just So do them weekly, right? They are not too hard, right? So. Right. And occasionally there's also, I appreciate if somebody emails me, I had an email, who emailed me about that there's a slight discrepancy with the quiz, right? Maybe sometimes the wording is not clear or something like that. Yes.
Well, the algorithm one.
But that was my fault.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's sometimes, you just skip it. Yeah. Oh, this is easy. You read the question, but you skip maybe some words, right? And sometimes, the teacher sometimes makes a mistake. Happens to the best of us, right? No. Okay, but yeah, I'm half joking, right? No. We have okay, so let's see. We don't have don't have the homework, right? Yeah, these two. Yeah, so quiz is open. Let's see, what do we have? Examples, right? Let me see here. Which one?
In algorithms, about the greedy algorithms.
Yes.
So the question is, what would be example of greedy algorithm for a cashier when giving change for a purchase?
Yes, this is a trick question.
Why? Because I felt like the correct answer is always start by giving largest bill first and then proceed to the next substep.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
So is there good?
Tehniski pārējie arī ir greedy.
Saproti? That's a thing, that's a trick.
Vienkārši ir sūdīgi algoritmi.
They are bad greedy algorithms, you see? They are greedy algorithms, they're just really horrible, right? You guys picked up on that, right? Yeah. Yes. I didn't say the best one, right? Sorry for being. Sometimes I had some little extra tricks, right? So, all right. So let's see what's happening with Replit here, right? Yeah. Right. Again, you don't have to be 100%. Those are not going to be like they're not going to break your grade if you like miss one question, right? So the quizzes, right? Okay. Now we're back into business with our typedefs, and let's see the book again. The book is, again, this is the official book I was given a couple of years ago for this course, right? So that's what we go by. Yes, so we'll create our enums, right? Enums are great, actually, right? Because they let you set specific limits to what kind of data you have, right? But of course, in C++, nothing is completely simple. There's some gotchas there, right? Also, we'll get typedef statement, which is quite often used, right, for making your own data, basically, right? Also, we'll see, of course, we'll formally explore the namespace mechanism, right? And also, we'll see the string again. String, which is the C++ type string. As opposed, there's also C strings as well, right? So, well, basically, what's data type, right? Abstractly, that's basically some values, right? Probably the most basic, well, what would be the most basic data type? In Python, it would be none, which has only one value, right? Or null, maybe, right? Well, Booleans only have two values, right? So enums are, what is enum? Who has used enums before?
Enumerated list?
Yes. You have specific names for things, like classical example, we'll see probably names of the weekdays, for example, right? Underneath, there could be actual numbers, but the idea is that you don't necessarily need to know about those numbers. Well, C++ actually has specific numbers for those, actually, right? You'll see that, actually, right? So I don't always agree with this book, actually, sometimes with this, especially on enums. But let's look at the syntax. Let's do our enum, and let me see, right? So syntax is enum, right? And you put the names, right? Let's see if we can do this, right? Let's explore enums. And where is my code space? Where are my code spaces? Here we go, right? So let's do enums. Enum, C++, right? All right, let's explore. Making enums using defining and using enums in C++, right? So for starters, right, enums are a very defined set of name and constants, basically, right? Yeah. So key idea is that, yeah, well, you see AI, let's not repeat ourselves, right? So we'll include IOStream, right? We will use weekdays, for example, right? That's probably easiest, right? Let's do, yeah, well, color, let's do weekday. Let's define enum named weekday, week, right, this. Right, so there you go, easy, right? Enum, week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so on, right? So, again, you have to remember, of course, that underneath, this should tell you, you see? That's what's happening underneath, right? So Sunday should be what?
0?
No, should be 6.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday 6. Monday is 0, right? Yeah.
Okay, Monday.
Yeah. So technically, yes, there are numbers. And the thing is, the book, if I remember correctly, the book will go into details doing math. But of course, the main idea is why we don't. So we could use numbers, of course. But again, enums, of course, give you your code some readability. That's a big advantage, right? If you check whether this is Monday, you don't want to check whether week of day is 3, because then you have to think, is this 0 based or 1 based, right? Right, you don't want to check against number. You want to check against this. You have some, you have some calendar application or something, right? You want to check against this enum. You don't want to check against the number, basically. So it's a way of avoiding magical numbers, right? Magical numbers in your code, right, are a bad smell, right? Smells badly, right? You don't want to see that. Yeah, avoid them as much as possible. So now, of course, again, technically, many languages, enums, you don't even see the values, right? C++, of course, is that actually shows you, expose this value, right? So you can do some fancy math with it, right? Again, technically, again, so let's do that. And let's see what the books, what else does the book show, right? So yeah, there is actually no ordering for these, right? Yeah, so Monday is less than Tuesday, technically. Of course, now you see why, right? So let's use them. Let's use them. Right, main. In main week today is Wednesday? Nope. So note here, right? Note here. Note I am using the enum as data type here, right? So this means that today, I mean, it cannot be 8, right? It cannot be 5,000, right? It should be only legally I can assign these values. That's a big advantage, right? So we can see, of course, sometimes you can break things, right? Underneath, of course, enums are generally, again, you have to read the standard, read the boring documentation, would be probably integers, right? Again, so theoretically we have 4 billion enum, I don't know, definition somewhere if you want, but that's probably no point, right? But yeah, today plus 1, right? So let's see what's happening here, plus 1, right? So this will actually, let's be Tuesday, right? Because it's Tuesday, right? Tuesday. You see, it's now also, since this is Visual Studio Code, but also Sea Lion and Visual Studio and most regular IDEs will give you, it knows about the enum. So it's just a practicality, also a big practicality. You have the assigned values, you know, you can't make a mistake, basically, right? Makes your code more robust, right? If you make actually production, enums are a real helper because they tell you, okay, you define what's allowed, basically, right? You sort of, too much freedom can be a dangerous thing when programming, actually, things, right? So you don't want to have a like 8-day, right? So, but again, we'll see, I think we'll be able to break these things. Let's see, so let's compile it, G++. I don't want to ask AI for now, I can compile myself. G++, right, on, what is it, enums, actually, let's add errors, val, right, enums, on output, I don't know, weeks, or enums, basically enums, all right. All right, on enums work, day 2, right, so the number works, actually. So yeah, so the thing is, you can do math here, right? So technically, right, today, let's see what happens if I add 2. So shift alt arrow down, right? If I add 100, right? Well, it's gonna cast, right? It's gonna cast. This is gonna be 100 on 2, right? No, 100 on 101, right? Yeah, 101. Again, remember if I put Sunday first, like it depends on what kind of religion and so on, right? Or work day, right? Depends on the country. Sunday might come first, right? So then of course Sunday will be 0, right? Again, of course, because of course C++ does not know about weeks of the day. Okay, so this will be, it should be casting. Let me cast. It doesn't complain. Yeah, you see it's 101. So enum got cast, convert to integer, right? So yeah, so that's the danger with C++. Again, personally, I would avoid using too much enum. Yeah, right. It sort of breaks the thing, but again we'll see this underneath. It's there, right? So there's the ordering. So let's check. We can compare enum values in C++, right? So let's compare Monday with Thursday, right? Tuesday. Yeah. No, less. Well, this is kind of let's. No, it's of course not. It's obviously not equal, right? Because we can just cover off, right? We can see this here, right? We can see the values underneath. I mean, it's not even less. Come on. Yeah. Else if, yeah, else if. Monday. I don't know what AI thinks it's. All right. Yeah. And now I can come. Well, yeah. Obviously, it will not be, since these are standard, right? Somehow bigger than Thursday, and again, of course, we should never happen, right? And of course, else this also should not happen. Else, of course, right? Again, should not happen. Again, this branch should not happen. Yeah, of course, right? So obviously this one should work, right? 0 is less than 3, right? Obviously, right? So that's what's happening under the hood, right? Again, nothing too hard, and nothing complaining, and of course Monday doesn't turn. Okay, so as expected, right? So yeah, and again, so the question is now, can I do what happens if I adjust this? Week to day, right? It's not constant, so what happens? Let's adjust the day. Let's adjust day. Let's adjust our today by mass, by 2 days. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, this looks okay to me, right? Steady cast week. Can we skip this part? How about some other day? Right, so this will be what? Well, since we're doing math, right? Of course, this will work, right? Because this is number, right? How about? Well, let's make another day variable, right? So week, another day, Friday, right? So let's add these days together. Yeah. So. Questions, what's going to happen here? It's probably going to yell. It's probably going to be here Friday plus what is it? Plus Thursday. We should get error here. I think. Right? Let's take a look. Right? Again, to show you that it's possible without. The thing is, what happens if I don't do this? Right? We'll see. Is it going to roll over? I don't think so. It's going to just yell at you, right? Because it's not built in, right? Let's take a look, right? This casting, right? Today is what? Friday is what? Friday is 4, and this is going to be what? We only go up to 6. 4 plus 3. Today's value is what? Tuesday is what? Tuesday is 1, right? 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7, and it's not possible, right? So it should get error. Let's take a look. The question is this going to pick up on this? I don't know. It's a compiler probably is not going to pick up. Let's print out. Yeah. I think. All right. Let's see. Again, this is messing up. It's like trying to break things. Okay, the compiler didn't complain. Let's see what kind of stuff we get out. So day 8, you see, right? So, I don't like this. Well, actually, no, 7, right? So combine. So actually, I would have liked to see error here. Actually, so casting day 8, right? So I would have expected to be error. We actually want to get error here. So this part. So what happens if I get rid of this, right? Because we're adding like apples and apples, right? So 2 days of the week, right? So not a big problem, right? But I would have wanted to break this actually. I want to have an error actually here because day 8 does not exist logically, right? We cast it, and this cast should have broken this actually, right? So it's interesting. The week that it actually lets you, right, in C++, actually one of those things which is not ideal, right? Because if you're probably you kind of depend on this thing picking up the ID to pick up and get it's actually an error here. So let's see, what happens if I do this without the cast? Maybe this part here, right? Let's see here. Okay. All right, int. Okay. So, all right. So you cannot. Okay. So that's good. Okay. Control Z. Right. So question is, what happens if I do this? Right. I can do this. No. Okay. Static cast. Control Z. Yeah. So it's interesting. So yeah. So as soon as I get some math in, right? So I can cast to some other days, right? So I wonder if you can somehow get this. Actually, this is an error. So this is 7. Okay. Let's do Sunday. Actually. Let's do Sunday. Yeah. Let's do Sunday. I'll comment this out, right? Sunday. So this is what 6, right? So 6 is going to be, now it's going to be 10, right? Yeah. This still works, yeah, day 10, which, yeah. So this part here is what I don't really like. We'll see again, maybe there's a way to do this, because again, so this is more too much like Python where you do anything, right? We want the enum actually to break things, right? So, default, let's take a look at this, right? Same rules, right? Value used one enumeration type, not be used by another. So this is basically just a shortcut, basically, right? So colors, brown, blue, red, green, yellow, right? Again, right, so freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, right? Again, when they use, again, if you use them just as IDs, you don't have any problems whatsoever, right? If you, as long as you start doing math in C++ with enums, right, you will have these type of issues, right? So you would want maybe, you know, you have to define some sort of operation. Maybe you want after Sunday to come Monday, right? But here right now as it stands, it's cast to integer, you get the next value, right? Okay, so what's the issue here? Let's look at the next issue. What's illegal about this one here? John. John is illegal, right? Because John was used already in another enumerator, right? So, what's the solution, of course, is, let's see here, let's try to do mini week, right? Weekend, let's try weekend, enum, right? So, right. Saturday, but just like I think this now looks like okay, right? Because we have a namespace, right? Week, and I don't think it's an error anymore, right? Like, can I, well, 6, 7, right? No issue, right? But of course the issue is now that Saturday, right? Here, right? This is week, on Sunday, right? So which one is this going to be? Where is my Sunday? You see? Yes. Yeah, you see, here's the problem, right? So, name collision, right? So, you have another enum, right? Two enums. There's a problem with this issue because week and Sunday, right, cannot be used for week. So we overrode the values here, right? So this will cause naming. This will name collision with week enum, of course, right? So. Again, so obviously, again, you want your code to break as early as possible, right? That's the whole thing that you try. That's your goal when you're programming in anything, right? You want to pick up on these, logical errors as early as possible. Syntax errors these days is easy, right? You guys have it easy. Basically, it's hard to make a syntax error, right? But the logical errors, right, and the semantic errors, basically, are much more apparent, basically. Okay. So this will cause naming collision. So of course, obviously here I could do this. Right? So what I do is I think I can do this, right? I can do this. Yeah. Yeah, I can do this. So I had to avoid a naming collision here, right? So this works. Let's try it again. With weekend enum. Okay. So now you see I'm using a namespace week, right? On 2 colons, right? That's how you see how it goes with standard cout, right? Again, because theoretically there could be another cout, right? And we use one for standard. So you have to be careful. I could use using namespace std, using namespace week, right? If I'm lazy, right? I could skip this part, right? Let's do this also. We'll get to the namespace in a moment, right? So again, using namespace, right? We'll let you skip this part. You don't be lazy. Let's do this, right? So. Using namespace. Now, can I do this here? Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I can. Now, we do not have to prepend. Okay. Convenient, right? But I can still use. I didn't break the code. Right. All done. Full. All done. All right. No, there's no cout. This is also cout, right? Standard, right? So, right? I think you guys pretty much on this one you're pretty familiar now by now. Okay. All right. So let's see. We finally got an error. That's good. Saturday. This is previous declaration. Saturday. Where is it? So, Right, so what can we do here? Can we actually make it work, right? Good question. Can I say this is actually, which line? Okay, line 20, yeah, here's the problem, right? Okay, Sunday, okay, it tells you can't do this actually at all, right? So, can I do this stupid thing? Let me try this. Can I do that? I don't know, I don't think you can do that. No, you can't do that. So you actually can't do it. Okay, that's good. So that's good. So I'm just going to skip it. Yeah. Now let's try it one more time. Yeah, okay, no errors. Okay, everything works, but again, as soon as, so one of the takeaways is as soon as you start doing math enums, you know, as soon as you start doing math with enums, you get integer values, which you print, but also be careful with this, it's going to bugs. Right? So again, my takeaway is basically don't really don't use enums, just identify and try to avoid thinking about the numbers underneath actually, even though they are, right? And again, lots of older code use that, right? But this will lead to hard to catch bugs. Because again, you should not really care that, you see, for example, right, weeks of days, you might want to compare, I don't know, sometimes, you know, is Monday, less than Tuesday, right? But Susan and Kathy, right, or John, right, do you really want to compare them like an enum? You don't really want to compare them in such a way, right? So, well, again, grades, A, B, C, D, right, sometimes it can be useful, right, if you can compare it. Is A less than F, right, and so on, right? So, and of course, this is illegal, right, of course, that's just bad, right? These are, you have to use them direct names, okay, right? So you can store them, yeah. So enums are best if you don't have to do any type of operation, they're just identifiers. So, one of the takeaways, one of the takeaways from this lesson, use enums as simple identifiers, right? Avoid doing math enums, right? Right. They should not really be, I mean, they should not really be, we might want something more complex, right? Again, if you get really comfortable, you can do it. So, well, notice, right? The book says that you can't do this, right? But actually, we're able to do this, right? That's kind of interesting, right? Let's see what C++ says, right? So, reference, enum, right? See what it says. Declaration. Let's see what the official standard. Because I don't really, like I said, I don't trust. The book is not bad, but it's okay. Right. Distinct type, range of values, right? Maybe we can do some extra checks. So red, green, blue, right? Right. Zero, red, green, blue, right? So we can check. So one of the things is we can check for cases, right? Usually, oftentimes, enumerators are used in cases, right? So again, as the book says, I mean the official reference says, or almost official reference says, that each enumerator, you have the value, right? So you can skip some values, but A is 0, B is 1, C is 10, D is 11, right? And G is F plus C, right? You can do things like that. I don't know, again. But, I mean, again, C++ lets you do this. But again, it's not having specific values. I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, I suppose, let's say you have red and you have this hex value for red underneath. It's nice, right? But again, I think you can need something more, a little bit stronger than that, than enum, right? So, and again, A is 0, right? Yeah. But this is actually, you have anonymous enum as well, by the way, right? Sometimes it may be useful, right? Yeah. But that's, of course, we'll get to structures in a moment, so that's not right. So scoped enumerations, let's see, right? So case. So oftentimes you want to use them in some case, right? Yeah. Right. Result cast. Yeah. Let's see what this means. Error. Okay, so that's good. Unsigned char, byte, right? So that's good actually, right? You can have scope that. Anything else? Using enum E, right? You can do that. So this means this is okay, right? Using F, right? Using enum F, this gets again unneeded complexity here. Now, let's explore this 1150. Okay, let's do 5 more minutes. Let's do a switch case. Explore switch case. Unless the books, yeah. So this actually works. So let's try plus plus. Let's try plus plus. Right. Let's do plus plus. I think it still works. Do this. League day. What do I have? What's my basic one? Today, right? So today. Yeah, does this actually work, right? Yeah, now this is finally applicable using. Okay, so again, how C++ does it. Theoretically, I could define this plus plus. I like that better, right? So that I like, right? So that means this book is true actually. So you cannot do plus plus. Let's try compiling it. It's already the ID is warning you. You're not supposed to do this, and it shouldn't work. It should not work. Yes, finally. Why? Because no operator plus plus is defined for postfix plus plus. Basically, enum does not have this operation. So that's good, actually, right? That's good. But what's not so good is you can do this, right? So today, right? However, how about, okay, so this does not work. That's good. So this doesn't work. Good. Right? Now, yeah, we don't want, let's see, so today plus equal also, this also should be fail, right? This also will give error, right? I hope, right? Yeah. So that's good as well. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, also good, right? Now, but the thing is, this is kind of surprising. This shouldn't give you this. Well, so what is the difference between, right, because we define this weak and static cast. So why is this actually working? That's the thing, right? Because it says here you cannot, right, so you cannot add plus plus, but, so let's look at this example. Because the static cast, basically, because what's happened is this part here is a number, right? And the static cast, it should have been thrown an error, basically. But I guess not, right? Let's try it one more time. Yeah. Right? Good. But finally, now, so today equals static cast, this is fine, yeah. So, okay, so that's actually good, right? So actually, in a way, it is. Yeah, all that. So in a way it's good, but the problem, of course, it's all good, but that you avoid these type of errors, right? You have to explicitly cast. But what I don't like, actually, right, is that it does not protect you out of. If you do this, basically, right, this cast to weak, right, to your own static enum, right, you can go to bounds, right. I don't have explicit sort of error, but no, you can't. Because I guess it's because not statically you don't know what today is, right? Because compiler theoretically, right, it does not know the value of today. Theoretically, right? Because I'm doing some math here, right? And theoretically, right, you will not get. So yeah, this is fine, but not recommend. Could go out of bounds, right? All right. So hopefully you saw this, right? Right, so this is good. You have protection again against yourself, right? Solution applying the cast op. This is what it does here, right? So you can do this, right? But it can lead to jobs. So relations work, right? Of course, we can also loop, right? You can print all days, right? Yeah. So you can do things like this. I don't like this. I mean, it's kind of ugly, right? So start with, you can do this, right? For sport and basketball, all soccer, and so on, you keep adding +1, right? Sport is +1 until you reach the end, right? So you can, let's print all days of the week, right? Yeah. Let's take a break first, okay? So continue at 12:10, right? So hopefully, and then we'll see switch on loops after that.